Hello and welcome to the Met PGA Notebook. My name is Brian Kroll. I'm a PGA golf professional and I'm joined here by three of my great friends and fellow PGA pros, Carl Alexander, Rob Labritz, and Danny Balin. Guys, thanks for joining me here at the beautiful Sunningdale Country Club. It's towards the end of the season, but there's still some golf to be played.
There is, and we've got some good lineups coming up. We just finished a nice week of playing golf, and we've got the Treber coming up at Wheatley Hills, and looking forward to a couple more events.
If the weather stays like this, it'll be great.
We're fortunate to play some of the most beautiful golf courses in the country, and we have a very wonderful competitive schedule. And you three guys remind us all that club pros can still play. I mean, it's I'm sitting next to a lot of talent here, and Danny, you've had quite a year. Why don't you talk about some of the success you've had here in 2012?
2012 has been a great year. Opening up the season, playing at Bethpage Black, being able to win the New York State Open there.
Winning's nice.
Winning is definitely nice, but to have a little redemption on the Bethpage Black golf course was nice. I lost in a playoff in the Met Open there 2 years ago, so to be able to get back out there and win there was fantastic. And then winning the Met Open at Plainfield Country Club this year was great as well. And then going back to Bethpage Red to win the Assistants Championship was awesome. It was capped off last week by the Met PGA Championship at Country Club of Fairfield, another beautiful venue. I played solid 10, 11, 12, 13, and Frankie made 2 birdies on 12 and 13, and going into 14, he hit first, and he hit it to about 6 feet past the hole, and I hit it to about 15 feet to the left of the hole, and I ended up making it, and he ended up missing, and that was a big turning point because you're not really expected to make a 15-footer left to right break, especially when the other guy that you're competing against is in there 6 feet. But for me to make that was definitely a turning point, and then seeing him miss what took me from being up 1 or even to a 2-shot lead with 4 holes to play. And that was definitely a turning point, and definitely something that gave me a little bit of extra confidence after giving a few shots back on the holes before that. And it helped me kind of calm down a little bit and gain a little bit of confidence going into the last couple holes, knowing that I had a 2-shot lead. He had to come and catch me, and just pars were a good score, and sticking to my game plan really helped me out coming down the stretch.
So it looks like you may be on track for Player of the Year here in the Met section again. And speaking of that, let me go to your right and speak to Mr. Labritz, the Director of Golf at Glen Arbor Golf Club. And you had some success here in the middle of the year as well.
Seems like all the tournaments that Danny doesn't play, I get a chance to win. The head professional championship earlier in the season was the first victory, and then the PNC qualifier for next year's National Club Pro was a good victory too. But he holds the last round scoring average lead, I think, with his last rounds. It's been 66s or 67s. It's been pretty solid.
Well, we're lucky here in the Met section to play so many great courses and competitions, and we have great sponsors to help us do that. But I'm sitting next to 3 guys who have had success even at the PGA Tour level. You guys have played on tour before, which is exciting, and in some majors. And with that, I go back to Danny, and this year playing at Kiowa, that had to be exciting.
Yeah, this year at Kiowa, it was fantastic. There was tons of fans out there watching, and it's a lot different playing in a major than it is playing in our section events. We play all year long, probably having maybe 1 or 2 people coming out to watch. Going to a major and having 30 or 40,000 people coming and watching you is a lot different. There's a lot of emotions that go on, and it's something that you really can't explain to anybody else unless that they've experienced it. And there are nerves playing in our section events, teeing it up on the first hole that first day, but going to a major and having 5,000 or 6,000 people on that particular hole watching you tee it up, you get up there and you're nervous, shaking, and you're just hoping to hit that golf ball.
And next to you, Rob Labritz, of course, was the low club pro at Whistling Straits in 2010, made the cut in a major and stood there alongside Martin Keimer. That had to be very special.
Very cool. It was kind of funny, Danny was saying about the nerves lasting, on the first hole when you're playing a section event. The nerves lasted for 6 days when I was playing at Whistling Straits. I don't think I hit a shot where I wasn't nervous or shaking. So it was one of the best weeks of my life to be able to have my son there, on the 18th green with me and Martin Keimer. just one of those things that hopefully I can do again.
Well, you're representing your clubs, Danny, Burning Tree, Glen Arbor for Rob, Golf Club of Purchase for Carl, and the Farley Cup is an opportunity where you're representing more than that. Give us a little update on the Farley Cup, Danny.
Yeah, the Farley Cup is the top 12 playing professionals in Westchester against the top 12 point getters or playing professionals in Long Island, and we play like a Ryder Cup format at the end of the year.
I have a feeling there's a little trash talk, a little pride here, a little Westchester versus Long Island.
John Farley really would have loved this, the Westchester players against the Long Island players. He would have loved this type of format. Just a lot of fun for us to go back out there and honor him in an event like this.
In addition to the Farley Cup matches, we also have the Squire Cup matches, which honor Gene Sarazen and also Gene Borick. And Rob, you've been a part of that. Talk about the differences between the Farley Cup and the Squire Cup.
The Farley Cup is based on points, and the Squire Cup is based on, there's a certain amount of points that go into it, I guess, but it's chosen, the head pros and the board chooses which assistants are going to play. It's an application process that the assistants put in an application to see if they can make the team. If they're chosen on the categories, I think it's leadership, point standings, and professionalism. And then also the head pros are basically chosen the same way. So I get a chance to play with some guys that I normally don't get a chance to play with throughout the season, some assistants that I don't get a chance to see. So it's a different way of meeting other guys, and the head pros get flooded against the assistants, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, it's nice. So the Farley Cup has Westchester versus Long Island, and the Squire Cup, it's the head professionals versus the assistants.
Right, and while it's a competitive event in a Ryder Cup format, the cocktail party and the dinner before and the camaraderie, and then we all sit around and we talk about how special it is to be professionals in the Met section, where playing and teaching and the history of the game is so entrenched in our everyday life. It's just really nice to mentor and bring up the assistants and talk to them about what their future is about.
Guys, we're nearing the end of the segment, but before we do take a break, I want to talk to you about some tips that might help our viewers with their game. And the skies are a little gloomy here at Sunningdale today. Talk about playing in the rain. Rob, give some advice.
The only thing I can say is take your time. When you're in the rain, people have a tendency of getting rushed because they don't want to get wet. So you're out there doing things fast, your grips are generally wet. Keep your grips dry. Use your umbrella, put your rain gear on, but take your time. If you take your time, you'll make better swings, you won't swing so fast, and you'll hit better shots.
Especially over the winter time when it's cold out and snow's on the ground, it would be a good thing to get into the gym and to do some sort of fitness regimen that will help you stay in shape and help you stay loose to get ready for the upcoming golf season.
Well, there's no question that the wintertime is an excellent time to work on your golf game and make changes. A mirror indoors, just swinging in a mirror and getting comfortable with a new grip, new setup, new posture, and just swing positions. That would be great. But my biggest advice to any viewer out there, if you really want to shoot lower scores in the spring, is just buy a simple putting mat and work on your putting through the winter.
Yeah, we can see from the past Ryder Cup that putting is kind of important.
It is pretty, it's actually a secret. If you want to shoot lower scores, putt better.
See? Pure advice.
From the master.
I love that. I love that.
That's why he mentored me.
Carl, Rob, Danny, thank you so much. Great tips. The Met PGA Notebook will continue after this.
What's that great old saying about strangers? They're just friends you haven't met yet. Among life's millions of moments, some of the very best are made by Mohegan Sun. When it's your time to shine, come see us.
If you think you have to trade power for fuel economy, think again.
Visit your Lincoln dealer for your exceptional $4.99 zero-down monthly lease on the 2013 Lincoln MKX.
Now it gets interesting.
Welcome back to the Met PGA Notebook. Brian Kroll, along with a new panel. I am now joined by John Kennedy, Michael Breed and Carl Alexander returns with us. We talked in our last segment about the importance of playing and staying sharp with your game and all the great competitions we have available here in the Met section, but you guys are champions of another sort, and we're very proud here in the Met section to have 3 national award winners. Incredible. Patriot Award, Teacher of the Year, and the Horton Smith Award. And guys, congratulations, first of all.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
And John, why don't we start with you?
I feel as club professionals we have such an opportunity to be able to do direct impact fundraising for troops and their families. We have access to members who are obviously been very successful in this country and feel a great debt of gratitude to our troops, and we can be a great conduit. We are examples to our members, so if we take a lead in this, and obviously Dan Rooney started Patriot Day, I think it was 5 years ago, with the idea of charging $1 per golfer on Labor Day and hoping to raise $300,000, and I think he's raised over $10 million to date. And the feedback I've gotten from our members at Westchester, and I know I'm sure Michael and Carl the same thing, it's probably one of the finest things we can do as a club professional is to be able to put our members who are grateful to the troops in touch with a foundation that's able to have direct impact on the children of the fallen.
Yeah, we talk so much about playing and teaching and running events and running a golf shop, but you know, the impact we can have through charities is so special, and you're just a great ambassador for not just the Met section, but for golf and what we can do, and winning that award just is incredible. And moving on, congratulations, Teacher of the Year. I know that's an award that is very special to you. You've had a passion for teaching golf your entire career. Talk about the impact you've had, not just with your students here at Sunningdale Country Club, but you know, throughout the world now with a whole different vehicle.
Yeah, you know, I've been very fortunate. Golf Channel sort of entrusted me with an instructional show and really a redirection of instruction. And it's been an amazing journey, and one that's really changed a lot of the way people are taught nowadays. There's a lot of people that don't get a chance to take golf lessons from, you know, Carl or you or John, can't afford that or whatever, and Golf Channel has brought that opportunity to them, and you know, the feedback has been phenomenal. We've continued to increase our ratings year after year, and that's been great fun. And I think the other thing that's happened is, you know, for me here at Sunningdale, what it's allowed me to do is attract really good instructors and who buy into the importance of instruction, and the programs that we've put in place here at Sunningdale have been, in my opinion, and what I've been told, you know, very high quality stuff. We've seen that with the participation of lessons from our members and non-members even, and that's really the stuff that makes me very proud.
We've talked for years about the importance of entertainment when you're giving a lesson, and who does it better than Michael Breed?
No one. As good as it gets.
You know what? At some point you look into a camera and it can be intimidating, but if you realize you're just out there having a little bit of fun, and back to, you know what, I mean, this is what we get to do with our lives. There are a lot of people that haven't had the chance to choose their dream and live their dream. There are people that are all over the world doing things, you know, not by choice, and we get to do what we get to do by choice. And if you can't be having fun and smiling while that's going on, then you got some bigger issues. You know, well, we can talk about that all day.
You know, speaking of Michael Breed and Teacher of the Year, we talk about Haney and Ledbetter and Jim McLean and all the great names that we've heard in instruction, and those are all names of people that this man, Carl Alexander, has brought to our section to enrich our professionals here in the metropolitan area. And by doing that and many other things, you have been named the National Horton Smith Award winner, so congratulations to you.
Thank you, Brian, and it's great to be in this company here with John Kennedy and Michael Breed, and you know, it's pretty humbling, 28,000 PGA members, and to be selected as the one national award winner for any award is pretty impressive. But
talk about the Horton Smith Award and what it is and what it means.
Well, the Horton Smith Award is given to PGA professionals for their dedicated and continuing service towards education and mentoring of their fellow professionals. And I learned a lot from these two gentlemen right here. Michael Breed was the chairman of the education committee before I was, and John has been. And you know, you learn through the years, and I think Michael said it best. You know, we're having fun with it, at the same time as we're putting together important programs. And we try to make it entertaining, and we try to make it fun, and we try to make sure that we give the audience, our fellow professionals, something that they can learn from and better themselves as PGA professionals, whether it be in teaching, in playing, or in business, and how to run their operation.
And I think if I could just jump in here real quickly, what Carl has done, and humbly, but what he's done is he's created educational opportunities for our Met section professionals to allow them to become better at whatever the programs are. And while he's not going to pound his chest like that, I can pound his chest for him.
Appreciate it.
He has done some incredible stuff to create educational opportunities for our Met section and to make our section what I think we all feel is to be the best section in the PGA of America. And certainly I know, and I'm sure John feels the same way, we are very grateful and thankful for what Carl has done for our educational opportunities.
And like many sections across the country, we're very involved with the First Tee, with golf in schools, with Get Golf Ready, and you know, junior golf is a big part of the equation as well. And John, you have such a successful program there at Westchester. Why don't you talk a little bit about the success you've had with your junior programs?
Yeah, you know, listen to Michael talk about enjoyment and Carl talk about having fun with what you're doing. I think that's the starting point. I think for kids, you know, they run around, they play soccer, they play baseball, and if they come to golf and it gets too serious, they get turned off. So I think one of the first things that a golf professional needs to know is to make a program fun. One of the things we've done is develop drills. And so the children will do, in a period of an hour clinic, we'll do 6 different drills for 5 to 7 minutes each. So they're constantly moving from one drill to the next. So they're first learning, but they're also physically active. And so we keep them engaged. I think that's very important.
Yeah, mixing it up, moving them around is important.
Yeah, and you know, obviously there's been a lot of research now in terms of motor skill development, and so we're trying to do some, what you would think is non-traditional golf drills to teach them agility and strength and balance and flexibility and things like that. So, you know, as Michael said, we're at clubs that are very special in terms of facility and membership. So we have a very big facility and I have a very big staff, so we're able to accommodate a lot of children. But it's been great to watch them, and also the whole family aspect of golf now. You talked about Golf 2.0, and getting families to play together is a big priority. And again, we have 36 holes, so we have the opportunity to put people out on the golf course. This year we created some Debbie Austin tees, which we named after a former teaching professional at Westchester, and those are forward tees. It's a 3,800-yard golf course, so it's very playable. It's rated by the MGA, so a parent can post a score. So that's been
Sounds
a
like
big
my kind
part.
of course, actually.
You and me both.
But that's, you know, I love that. But one more example of what we're doing to try and make the golf game more fun, more enjoyable, and you know, spread the word to more people. If we can grow this game and let people understand how fun it is, that's going to be a great thing. And I give you guys a lot of credit. 3 great national award winners and 3 products of junior golf, and we want to keep spreading the word. Folks, we're going to switch up the panel just a little bit in a moment, but we will be back with more of the Met PGA Notebook after this.
The views at TPC Sawgrass, reserved on your World Elite MasterCard. Clinics with a course pro. Lockers next to pros. A golf trip that leaves you speechless.
Hi, guys. Hey, Tom. Graham.
Priceless. Book around at select TPC courses today at pgatour.com/MasterCard. That's MasterCard. That's priceless.
If you think you have to trade power for fuel economy, think again.
Visit your Lincoln dealer for your exceptional $499 zero-down monthly lease on the 2013 Lincoln MKX.
Now it gets interesting.
And welcome back to the Met PGA Notebook. Brian Kroll, along with 3 fellow PGA professionals and good friends of mine, Rob Labritz at Glen Arbor, Michael Breed right here at Sunningdale Country Club, and John Kennedy at Westchester Country Club. Guys, thanks so much for being a part of the show today. Now, we wanted to get into something that I think is very important in golf. I think we all do, and that is mentoring. And I think if we think back in time, we all had a pro that we worked for that really meant something special to us and helped guide us along on the right path. And recently, with the Barclays here in our section, we saw some success from a guy named Nick Watney, who got a little putting tip from Darrell Kessner. And that is my segue to you, Michael Breed. Talk about your time with Darrell.
Yeah, I had the good fortune of working for Darrell for 4 years, and really he was one of the more influential PGA professionals in my career. And I think that, you know, when you start to think about where we have all gotten to, we all realize that we've all been influenced by many professionals, some that we don't even know. I mean, the PGA of America started here in 1916, and from that time, we've been sharing different thoughts and different ideas, whether it's through what Carl has done with, you know, education, Horton Smith Award. We've all had that great opportunity to be influenced by some of the very finest professionals. You know, you think about Claude Harmon, who was here at Wingfoot, and Tom Neoporti, and all the professionals that have worked for those individuals. I know Darrell was fortunate enough to come up into that line, and then he shared his thoughts with me, and I've had the good fortune to be able to take that knowledge that's been passed down and share it with other professionals. Danny Balin is one of those, and I've had a host of very successful professionals who have worked with me here at Sunningdale, who have gone on to do fantastic things. And I think that that's one of the things that we've all really enjoyed as a group, is to be able to take knowledge that has been passed down from generation to generation or individual to individual, and then, you know, expand on that or use that to the benefit of many thousands of people throughout the section.
And John, no one has had more of those feelings than you. You've mentored so many professionals here in the Met section throughout the years. Why don't you talk about some of your mentoring philosophy?
Well, I think what I've done, and I was kind of mentored by a guy named Tommy Murphy at Sleepy Hollow in the 70s, and so he basically threw me into the deep water. And I think I try to do that with my staff, is give them a lot of responsibility, so when it becomes their turn to move on, become head professional, they've actually experienced some of the stress of making decisions on the fly, being able to answer questions without necessarily having the answers before they're asked. Listen to Michael talk, though. I think it's important to know that we train assistants. We were trained. Those assistants become head pro, but they not only teach other pros, but they teach a lot of children who then become adults. And so the impact a golf professional can have is very profound. You never know when you're going to deal with an 8-year-old child who maybe doesn't have a great home life, isn't very athletic, but because you put your arm on his shoulder, that he becomes, you know, feels better about himself. So it's a great opportunity we have as golf professionals.
It's one of the great things about golf. It's an opportunity for a lot of kids to really experience a different world, you know, and we're really helping them to find some enjoyment and success and really take them to the next level in many cases. And Rob, you've done that, and you've had mentors as well that were part of our show earlier. Talk about your time with Mr. Alexander.
I was hired by Carl in, I guess, the year 2000 to open up this great place called, as you know, Glen Arbor, from the ground up. And, you know, the lessons that I learned from Carl on how to just start a business and how to treat your members was invaluable. He's moved on to another golf club now, and I've kind of slipped into that role over there at Glen Arbor as a director of golf. And, you know, you and I like to have all our assistants, and we do the best thing that we can for them.
And there is this delicate balance, I think, within the golf business, and we've talked about teaching throughout the show here and playing and the importance of mentoring and all the many programs with junior golf, first tee, and we even do some great events to bring golf to the community with our Night at City Field and many of the Get Golf into Schools programs and the junior programs that we spread throughout the whole area, which is really cool. And I know that John has been very involved in some of those programs, and this is the side of the golf professional that a lot of people don't see, is you know, the stuff outside of the golf shop.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and as I said earlier, I mean, we do have the opportunity, we do have the facilities and the membership, and as Michael said, we've kind of have the opportunity to live our dream, and very few people do. And so we are fortunate. We need to take that as a responsibility, not just an opportunity, to spread the word of golf, because golf isn't just hitting a golf ball. Golf is spending time with families. Golf is health. Golf is opportunity, whether it be business or personal. So it is a responsibility that we've been handed by the professionals before us, as Michael talked about all the legendary professionals who preceded us in the Met section.
Well, we're nearing the end of the 2012 season here in the Met section, and as winter approaches, I'm going to put you guys on the spot just for a couple seconds each. What are some things that our viewers can do over the winter to stay sharp with their golf games?
Well, the best thing to do, is to hit golf balls. If you can find a place to hit some golf balls, do it. It's a great time to change your golf swing. If you want to work on some things you didn't know you wanted to change during season because you're playing so much, great time to get in there, put yourself on video, maybe up your fitness a little bit, but get into really changing and making it better. If you can do that, you're going to be hitting balls into a net or just into the snow, so it really doesn't matter for score. Be a good way to go ahead and just let your body take that change.
John, what about you?
Well, I'd say two things. I'd say number one is if you're going to change your golf swing, you have to actually change your swing pattern. It takes a lot of repetition. So as Rob said, the off season, you don't have to pressure your scoring. Just a lot of slow practice swings in front of a mirror multiple times should help you with that. And the second thing I would say is, Rob touched on it, is fitness, particularly strength. I think strength is a big part of golf.
All right, well, we saved the fix for last. Come on, give us some great wisdom here about the golf season.
Well, I don't know if this is going to be wisdom or not, but it's certainly going to be my opinion. There's a couple things. One, what I suggest to people is to do something that you haven't done before. Just go find something, whether it's learning a language or playing an instrument or something like that. I suggest, and I suggest too to all the professionals, put yourself in an environment where you are learning something and feel what it feels like to be the student rather than being the teacher. And I think that that's something that's very beneficial. And then the other thing that I believe in is, the game of golf, there's a lot of physical stuff that goes on. And as John spoke to about training your body and getting your body acclimated to being able to make a motion, and what Rob said is, work on your swing and get comfortable with what you're doing, whatever the swing change is. And I think that that's really important as well. But we all know that the game of golf is a game of controlling your mind and mental strength. And I think that if you can get out and you can read some books, John Maxwell is one of my favorite authors. I know you're very aware of what John's written. Failing Forward is a book that he's written that's, I think, critical in being successful and understanding that failure is actually something that's necessary for you to make the next step. You have to be able to control your mind in order to be successful. And I think that if you can read some books at a time where, the sun's going down a little earlier, instead of going and turning on the TV, grab a book and read something, I think what's going to happen is your mind will be a little bit better, and who knows, maybe you might just play a little bit better golf.
That qualifies as wisdom.
Does that work?
Yeah,
it's an opinion.
Good stuff, good stuff. Well, John, Michael, Rob, thank you so much. You guys have been great, and three great examples of what makes the Met section so special and what makes golf such a great game. It's a game for life, and we hope more and more people enjoy it. So get out there and play some golf. For these three guys, and also for Danny Balin and Carl Alexander, I'm Brian Kroll. Thanks for watching the Met PGA Notebook.